Good evening, everybody. I would like to welcome you. We're very grateful for you being here tonight. I see some faces in the crowd that have traveled a little ways, so we genuinely appreciate your efforts to get here tonight. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the show, but before I do, a few technical notes. This middle aisle is used during the play, so if you absolutely must get up for some urgent matter, please go towards the sides of the aisles that you're in versus using the middle. That will be used both at the very end of the play and towards the middle of the play. We are very grateful to be able to bring you another presentation of Act Well. For those of you who don't know about what Act Well is, it is the vision of Libby and Nathan Marks. And did I do that right? Well, my gosh. Listen, I am more nervous than when I'm actually performing. I don't know what's going on tonight. Libby and Nathan Wells. Hence, Act Well. Humility, I heard, is a virtue. The vision of Act Well is to develop not only a young person's ability to perform and all of the various aspects of that, but to teach them the character of Christ as well. We know that we can take territory back from the enemy when it comes to the realm of entertainment. So you definitely will be entertained tonight. These young men and women have put in a lot of time and a lot of hours. You will certainly notice that in their delivery of their lines and how they move about the stage and interact with each other and transition from one scene to the next. But beyond just watching them and being entertained, there's a couple of things that I wanted to tell you about in regard to this play. First of all, the play There Was a Dreamer was based upon a sermon that was delivered by Pastor Mike here at White Dove. And as incredible a sermon as it was clearly delivered by the Holy Spirit. ANTS, which you may of course automatically think of the insects, is actually an acronym which stands for Automatic Negative Thoughts. Now, here's the truth. We were not designed to look upon, to consider, and certainly not meditate upon evil. The scriptures tell us to take every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. And that isn't just a good idea. It's because meditating on those negative thoughts and words of death and leaning on our own reasoning or choosing some philosophy from the world actually damages us, not just on a spiritual level, but a physical level as well. We were created and designed to live not just on bread alone, but every word that comes out of the mouth of God. When we meditate upon His word, we actually grow physically, spiritually, and we become what He intended us to be. We function optimally when we focus on God's word, when we seek to hear His voice, when we seek to be in His presence. The very act of being in His presence causes us to become who we were always intended to be. So as you listen to the words of this play, I want you not just to observe and be entertained, but I want you to connect the lines of this play to things that are going on in your own life. Our desire is to expose the unfruitful works of the enemy, to take things that are in darkness and expose them to the light, to not be ignorant of the devil's devices. So all of us are going through stuff, and all of us are prone to fall prey to automatic negative thoughts. We want what's automatic in your life to be rejecting those negative thoughts, and when you hear them, to immediately turn back to God and choose His will above anything else that could be in your life or causing you to choose a different way. So without further ado, one last thing. There were many people that helped this performance be possible. We'd like to thank Gina Mellerine and Laura Spencer for all of their backstage help, prop production, costume production. Certainly Nathan Wells and Libby Wells for their direction and technical help. Sherry Poirier, Tracy Fletes, Mickey Wipazinski, my wife, all have helped out and made this possible. And certainly Pastor Mike and Sister Elaine, who for decades have been submitting to the will of God. And you see the fruits of that submission here tonight. Last but not least, the cast of Act Well of this performance would very much like to fellowship with you after the play is over. They'll meet up with you in the back where there'll be refreshments. Please spend some time with them. Speak life to them. Allow them to speak life to you. Without further ado, they're waiting just behind this set for their first cue, which will be your applause. So ladies and gentlemen, the 2016 production of There Was a Dreamer.
Have you ever felt hurt,
Hopeless,
enslaved?
controlled by thoughts selfish and depraved?
A battle in the mind, whether real or imagined, is a war that is crafted and carefully fashioned.
The enemy stirs our minds and emotions, just like a witch who stirs evil potions.
We must be aware of the enemy's tactic, or his way of thinking will become automatic.
That is what happened to us long ago. We lost sight of the truth that we know.
Like a trail of small ants marching in slowly, we gave into thoughts that made us feel lonely.
So our story begins, sort of sullen and trite, in a world without color, only black and white. Bleak and blasé, was this wilderness great? Was this cold and desolate real estate?
But this barren land was not always like this. There used to be color, joy, and bliss. A king named Divine once governed justly. The people were blessed and lived life robustly, till the invasion of that evil, dark kingdom conquered and stole all of the freedom.
They displaced the king and established strongholds, beat us with lies and put us in molds of automatic negative thoughts and signs, for this was an army who struck in mind.
And remember this warning, that we love the smell of fear in the morning. We've marched and fought and conquered this town. Oh, goodness and kindness, we shall tear down. Provoked and angered, you'll do what we say. Your food will be bitter, both night and day. Your weapons proved useless. If you run, we shall find. For our working is constant as we tear down your mind. So raise up the strongholds. There's no time to rest. Forever we'll be here. So build me a nest. Yeah!
All hope of freedom was long lost, for this army would dominate at any cost. War-torn and beaten, under skies of gray, many winter seasons we lived this way, till everyone forgot how things were before. The oppression we faced changed us to the core. We no longer remembered the reign of the king, had no more hope for change or for strength. Unable to move forward or gain any ground, we could see no color or sing any sound.
But through the passing of time, there was one who stood out. Unlike the rest, she had more hope than doubt. She was a dreamer, a girl we thought silly.
She's spacey and weird. She gives me the willies.
The things that she say sound a bit shady.
She's awfully peculiar, that little lady.
Here we work hard to polish our brass, but there's nothing of value, nothing that lasts. I dream of a world with depth and importance.
Get a load of this girl and all of her ignorance.
Despite what you say, I'll keep standing firm.
Girl, you are crazy.
You have so much to learn.
There is some truth to the things which you say. I too am perplexed by these shades of gray. Because of my travels across county lines, I've heard of a man who speaks for the divine. He may give you insight in the course you should take.
Dear sir, thank you kindly. Meeting you must be fate. I've sat here for years, feeling lonely and weak, but straight now to meet him, this man whom you speak.
Heard it said from my sister-in-law's mother, that man's place, surrounded by color. A city of dreams, high in a hill, where no one is ever tired or ill.
Oh, the thought of such place brings a sweet, happy shiver. How do I get there?
Across the frozen river.
That isn't too far, a 3-day journey or so.
Just follow the path, which is straight and narrow.
Across the bridge, up the path to the city. Will you come with me?
I can't.
Oh, what a pity.
My contract is here till the end of December. But you go, be brave, and make sure you remember to always be watchful, discreet and wise, or this army of ants will bring your demise.
Our heroine went off full of excitement and glee to tell some of us how she planned to be free. Rather than praise, we mocked her to shame, laughing and jeering like she was insane.
Oh, goodness.
A world of dreams.
Across county lines, sunlight and sunbeams.
There is no divine.
But with my eyes closed, I can see it. A world without end. A sky full of color just around the bend.
But that's only a dream. With you I contend. What you seek isn't real. The town thinks you're nuts. Watch what you say and come back to your rut.
Listen, everyone. Don't you see we're enslaved? Come with me on this journey. It's our chance to be saved.
Could it be true? Is there something better?
Give the ants what they're due. Get rid of our fetters.
You intolerant child. Your tongue is too loose. Your mind is grown wild. This talk of a land made of brightness and dreams, of fields full of flowers and crystal blue streams. Stop it, I say! Cease and desist! Quiet this noise and no longer resist. I have tried to explain and given you reason, but you refuse to comply in this childish season. This is our world. This is what's real. The grass is not greener, and there's no better deal. If you don't, I must warn you, you'll lose all your friends. The people will mock you, and there'll be shame in the end. Such rubbish, boys, and you'll soon be so sick. Your hair will fall out, and you'll have no nose left to pick.
So come back. This is your home. Your dream is not worth it, for there's nowhere to roam. Walk the line, my young friend. Mind your manners. Watch the clocks. Speak your mind no longer and return to your box. Because we're all here to help you and explain to you why that it's too hard to sing and you're too weak to fly.
I'm exhausted and done with this dreary and drab. All the joy that's been killed and the peace that's been stabbed. My dreams are much stronger than what you present. So with confident boldness, I must now dissent. So your pardon I beg, for I'm moving on. And by twilight today, I shall be gone!
So it's stealth in the night. She made her escape, bringing nothing with her but a long outdoor cave. Evening to morning, then evening in, weaving the dark forest out and in.
rest here a while, try to regroup, before the ant sergeant sends out his troop.
What are you doing in woods such as these?
I'm a lonely young traveler, have mercy! Sir, please!
Why are you here, and where are you going?
I left my hometown without anyone knowing, in search of a man I'm hoping to find. He's a prophet who speaks for the divine.
Very few people believe in such things.
Crazy, I know, but the thought of it brings warmth to my heart and a pep to my step. I feel he has answers to secrets long kept.
Answers to secrets? What game do you chase? Speak the truth now to me, or return to your place.
The ants are oppressive, and I'm tired of them. Their futility, confusion, and shades that are dim. Liberty is my dream. Oh, I wish it were true.
Well, my young girl, I have answers for you. I've wandered these woods for years at a time, listening and learning of the King who's divine. His reign is what's true, but it has been suppressed by negative thinking and settling for less. The ant rule is strong, but it can be deposed. The way of the divine is the path that you chose. Our enemy's strength is not what it seems. They can't be conquered by the giver of dreams.
I can barely believe this. Is this for real? I'm excited. I'm nervous. I don't know how I feel.
I questioned you at first. I had to be sure. Your desire was set and your intentions were pure. If you come with me, fix your face like a flint. I'll teach you to straighten the paths which are bent. The ant's rule is strong, they can be deposed. The way of the divine is the path that you chose.
Though I'm in shock, and my courage seems small, I'm willing to do this and risk it all!
Wait! Don't leave me behind!
My friend, how in the world did you find?
I decided your friendship was so true and dear that I must be brave and stand up to my fear. So I snuck off behind you, under cover of night. Nearly caught by the guards. Boy, was that tight.
No way. Are you joking?
Girl, you know that it's true. So scared I was choking.
Say what?
Are you through? What are your true motives? What is your plan?
I followed her here. Against the ants I will stand.
Have you counted the cost?
I left all I own.
Is your strength often lost?
To fear I am prone. But I'm worn from feeling frightened and stalked. As I was coming, I listened when you talked. I desired to learn the lessons which you said, to hear the king's voice, to see the ants dead.
Then it is settled. With me you'll both go. I'll retrain your brains from the lies which you know. But for now, take cover, take a breath, and take care. For of your rebellion, the ants are aware.
For quite some time, the two were taught by the man, training and learning how to take back their land. He taught the techniques of ants and their schemes, and always encouraged the girls in their dreams.
Do you want to see color? Well, it's out there. It's real. You just can't give in to how the ants make you feel. Now show me your defense and offensive move. Now run 50 laps like you've something to prove. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Show me that muscle. What is this? It's dancing? Feel the burn.
Got the mother, let me tell the news. My head got wet in midnight dew. Ran down on my bending knees. Talking to a man from Galilee. My God spoke and he sounds so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He put one hand upon my head. God the mother, let me tell you what he said. Go tell that
dreamers are strengthened and primed, oppression of the ants in our homes on their climb.
Keep working harder. Mix that mortar.
No more resistance. We will have order.
There is no hope, no divine king to save.
You'll never be free. You're always enslaved.
And remember, you're losers.
Yeah, and this one's all wet.
You try to fight back, you walk with a limp. Tell me, my troops, have you found the runaways?
Not yet, my liege.
You've been searching for days. Pick up the pace. Send out another scout. Because of those rebels, I am not about to lose all that we've worked for. This stronghold we built by enslaving these people with curses and guilt. If just one of them's freed, it'll set chaos in motion. They'll remember the king and give him their devotion. We must not have this. Do you understand? Yes, we will search every inch of the land.
Find the two rebels, bring them back to their knees.
Punish them harshly, to the highest degrees.
Let me hear you sing it.
The ants are going down today, oh yes, oh yes. The ants are going down today, oh yes, oh yes. We'll reject their lies, fight them with truth, overcome darkness with colorful proof, until we are living in the dream. No longer will the ants control our minds, our minds. No longer will the ants control our minds, our minds. We're breaking free, walking in truth, we're mighty in him and we're living proof, and we'll seek our dreams till the very end.
The time has now come for me to return from where I came.
But we have more to learn.
All of this training has endued you with power. It is time to move on. I think this is the hour. Be sure you know this. Ants are liars and cunning deceivers, but you were chosen as hopeful believers. Truth is contrary to the thoughts which seem natural. Some have large arrows or swords in a fort, but our weapons are not made of that kind of sword.
But how can we be sure what's certain or actual?
Truth is contrary to the thoughts which seem natural. Some have large arrows or swords in a fort, but our weapons are not made of that kind of sword. Remember, the battle is fought in the mind. When you need truth, seek and you'll find.
So alone, they marched on, until, from the back, they both were surrounded! A surprise attack!
There you are, you little pest. You think you're free, but there's no place to rest. This talk of a land ruled by a king, and a divine caring presence of which I've heard you sing, that was your dream you've had. It wasn't given to you, and there's no higher power that's seeing you through.
Get back, you villain! We've been warned about you and the poison that's preached by your villainous crew.
You're a liar and a cheat, the worst kind of thief, and we've been well instructed, thoroughly briefed.
Standing together, their strength is multiplied. Separate them. These two let's divide. It'll never work. You're doomed to fail.
Wind has died! You cannot sail!
There is no hope, no divine king to save.
And I'll kill this dream and your foolish passion. Always to wonder, never to save.
Blame the others till you go to your grave!
Lonely and lost with nothing to give.
Lonely and lost as long as you live. Always to wonder, never to save.
Blame the others till you go to your grave!
As a alone with nothing to give.
Lonely and lost as long as you live. Shamed, broken, full of great fault. Worthless,
Only! Lord!
lost. Always to blame and all great fault.
For though they fought back, they were thoroughly broken, feeling overcome by the words which were spoken. So it appeared the ant's job was done, until a small sound was heard from someone.
Truth, truth. But the ants speak are not valid, despite how we feel. If we seek truth, it shall be revealed. Don't be overcome, afraid, or coward. Think of the king and his mighty power.
The battle for the mind is in its last round. And now it is time to take back the ground. Fought like you've wanted for too many years, and filled with confusion, heartache, and fears. All your words we've considered, they are suspect. The truth sets us free, so your lies we reject!
This bright light appeared in the shape of an arc, blinding the ants and piercing the dark. Amongst each other, they began to fight, for the light of truth had split through the night. Exposing the lies that had captured the land, their strongholds torn down by their very own hands. Confusion was sent to the enemy's ranks, as the hopefuls ran towards the frozen riverbanks.
Now in the kingdom which was their new home, they never again have to wander alone. Embracing the joy and beauty they savored, they met King Divine and asked him for favor.
So she was the Jibber who helped set us free, by showing us that kingdom thinking was key.
So, thoughts may come that we are losers defeated.
But in the presence of the king, we are completely completed.
When we think of the king sitting high in his tower,
The lies of the enemy lose all of their power.
With the king on our side, we are winners we find.
For we're living the dream by renewing our minds.